Imagine retiring with $1 million. You stop earning a paycheck, you spend $60,000 every year, and 18 years later, your portfolio is worth about $1.09 million. You spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and somehow got richer. How? Bill Bengen became famous for answering the opposite question: how much can retirees spend without running out? His research became known as the 4% rule. But Bengen has recently argued many retirees may actually be able to spend more, and new retirement data explains why. EBRI followed retirees for more than 2 decades. The surprising result? About 1/3 still had 100% or more of their starting assets by their mid-80s. And among middle asset retirees, the number was about 43%. So maybe some retirees have another problem. They're not spending enough. Let's see how that actually happens. Raj retires at 62. Portfolio, $1 million. Lifestyle, $60,000 a year. No pension. Social Security starts at 67. At first glance, the math looks terrible, because 18 years times $60,000 is more than $1 million. So Raj thinks, I'm going to slowly drain this account. Except that calculation forgets the most important participant in retirement: the portfolio itself. Raj stopped working. His investments didn't. Suppose the portfolio averages 4% after inflation, not every year, not guaranteed, just a simplified long-term scenario on $1 million. That is roughly $40,000 of real growth. Now, Raj withdraws $60,000. People often imagine $1 million minus $60,000 equals $940,000. But if the portfolio also grows roughly $40,000, the net decline in that simplified year is only about $20,000. That is the first twist. Run that math from age 62 to age 67. Raj spends the full $60,000 every year, yet with the same simplified 4% real return assumption, the portfolio is still around $892,000. He spent $300,000, but the portfolio fell only about $108,000. Now the story changes, because at 67, Social Security arrives. Suppose Raj receives $36,000 a year. His lifestyle still costs $60,000, but investments now need to provide only $24,000. His portfolio suddenly has a much easier job. Before Social Security, $60,000 from investments. After Social Security, $24,000. That lower withdrawal burden is where compounding can start winning again. And now, watch what happens, using the same assumptions. Age 70, about $928,000. Age 75, about $999,000. Age 80, roughly $1.09 million. Raj retired with $1 million, lived on the portfolio for 18 years, and ended with more. That is the title of this video, in actual math. But don't copy that result and assume you're safe. Change one number, and everything changes. With 2% real returns, Raj ends around $672,000 at 3%, about $860,000 at 4%, roughly $1.09 million. Returns still matter enormously, and the average return isn't even the biggest danger. The order matters. A market crash at 64, while Raj is withdrawing heavily, can hurt much more than the same crash at 78. That is sequence of returns risk, Two retirees can earn similar long-term returns and get very different endings. Imagine two Rajas, same $1 million, same spending. One gets strong markets during the first 5 years. The other retires right before a major decline. One portfolio gets time to compound. The other is selling investments while they're already down. Same plan, different retirement. But markets explain only part of this puzzle. Something else happens. As people get older, they often spend less. Researchers Michael Hurd and Suzanne Rovetter found that after age 65, real spending declined about 1.7% annually for singles and 2.4% for couples. Why? Usually not because retirees stop enjoying life. Some expenses naturally change. Less commuting, fewer work expenses, cars replaced less often, travel may peak earlier, dining can slow, and eventually, some mortgages disappear. So the portfolio may face less pressure later in retirement. Take a couple spending $70,000 at 65. If real spending fell around 2.4% annually, 10 years later, it would be roughly $55,000. That is about $15,000 less annual pressure on the portfolio. Now, combine that with Social Security and investment growth. You can see why balances sometimes stop falling. There's another overlooked reason. At age 73, many retirees must begin taking required minimum distributions from traditional retirement accounts. But an RMD does not mean they have to spend all that money. After paying applicable tax, money they don't need can be reinvested elsewhere. So the IRA may shrink, while total household wealth keeps growing. And now we reach the uncomfortable part. Bill Perkins popularized the idea of die with zero. Not because everyone should literally die with nothing. The point is, money is supposed to fund your life. But EBRI warns that rising retirement balances can sometimes reflect unnecessary underspending or fear-driven self-insurance. Raj may have won the financial game while refusing to take the trip. So getting richer in retirement is not automatically success, and spending down your portfolio is not automatically failure. Investments can keep compounding. Social Security can reduce withdrawals. Spending often changes. Guaranteed income can absorb expenses, and fear can keep people from spending, even when the math says they can. The real goal was never die with the biggest account. It was use the money you spent decades building while you still have the health and time to enjoy it. Because running out of money is a risk, but running out of healthy years with too much money left is a risk too. For real retirement, golden rules, scenario, and math subscribe to Mostly Retirement. Education's content, only not a financial advice.